coming from what we experience every day. And I think that's really, when you're tuned into the present moment, your life tells you a story. Whether you're in the woods, or with people, or at a restaurant, or listening to poetry, or watching the clouds, or seeing a beautiful work of art, or listening to your favorite song or music, someone playing music live. There's nothing like that. It's just all part of what we wish for all souls, is to have what I call the food for souls. The food for souls is the art, it's the music, it's the dance, it's the poetry, it's the literature, it's the architecture that raises us up above our ordinary working state that we have as a culture, which is good, but we need breaks from that, and it's the arts that give us the breaks from that and give us what I call food for our souls. And without food for the souls, we get results that aren't pretty. And what we wish is a beautiful, happy life for everyone. So we want everybody's soul to be fed as much as possible. And this is why we have galleries and concert halls and dances and platforms. The chamber orchestra is coming this weekend, and talk about how beautiful that is. We get these wonderful music played that resonates through time, from our past to the present, with young people playing it. And we hope that it's very successful for them, because we want to come to our town over and over again, because it's food for our souls, and every soul needs to be fed. And that's why we share what we do. So we're not quite there. I could kind of jump into it before I officially open. And I had a sweet little poem that came out of me, because this year I've been writing things that just sort of happen so far. So this one is one that I think we all have experienced. Screeching, screaming, whining, abrasive, irritating mantra of discomfort and pain. Poking me with needles, putting strange drugs in my mouth. Poison or medicine? Good intentions or what? Hours of surrender to what? Rotting teeth? Bleeding gums? Impermanence. Guess what? This tooth is just another part of my skull. The dentist chair, a perfect place to meditate. I got a new tooth, that's how that happened. I think that's fun.
What are you talking about?
Then there's another one that I got that came spontaneously as a result of our mailbox. I don't know how it came to me, but I think it came to a previous owner. We got a mail order gun ammo catalog. Well, I like guns. I was raised with them, but this is where this poem came from. Automatic weapons, armor-piercing ammo, in the mail. Lock up the weapons, let all the non-violent out of jail. Change the world with a stroke of the pen. 1 billion lives or more is the cost in the end. End the suffering with more care. Look into the other's eyes if you dare. Find the trust that it takes to share. no mail order peace in the making, where there's no profit for the taking. Just you and me and everyone else in the game. You'd better laugh and learn, or you will surely go insane. Meditate and know all of life is about how to grow. Find the center of your being, and you will become a creative machine. Your soul embracing the oneness we all know, in a world where compassion and peace does flow. That all came from a mail-order gun catalog. You go, oh, okay, well, whatever, bring it on. Okay, so I think now we can, not official yet. You're going to have to suffer through another poem here. Fortunately, my wife put little green tags on the ones that didn't get put into the regular program. We had a very incredible being pass from us at the beginning of the year. His name was Chatrul Rinpoche, and he lived in Nepal and was like living enlightenment. And he was a very tough guy. He couldn't go on his property if you smoked or ate meat, which was what his choice. But he was really, really a wonderful, incredible human being who was very, very much teaching enlightenment and sharing all of his enlightenment with the rest of the world for the end of suffering from all sentient beings. So I wrote a little poem for him when his passing came to our knowledge. Live in gratitude, sacred beings, holy beings, enlightened beings, bodhisattvas, angels, and saints. All come and go. All their teachings are left behind. Treasures to be mined, all embraced, every heart, with compassion, wisdom, and equanimity and love. Open your heart, open your mind, live in happiness and joy. Practice the treasured teachings and bring more awakened consciousness to the world of suffering that we live in, that all may find liberation and find liberation in this very lifetime. Meditate, meditate, meditate in gratitude for the gifts of your precious human birth. So that's for the Rinpoche, and may his consciousness be absorbed by all of us, because that's sort of the way it works when they pass away. Energy goes out to everyone, and it's a gift for all. So, I think now we'll officially start. We must be close. The nature of this month's presentation is called The Original Valentine, a gift from nature's heart to you. And we welcome you to words falling from the sky in the present moment, the good news from Sedona, where all the adults are trained in telepathy, where all the children are indigo, and where every yard has a personal vortex of spiritual energy that they will share with you. And this is what Sedona is. We have all this amazing spiritual energy that people are creating in their own spaces, and they're creating it to share it. They're not creating it to keep it all to themselves. So this is one of the things that makes Sedona wonderful. Well, one of the things I have to tell everybody when they come to the First Friday is about the SIA. And people, not everybody knows what the SIA is because it's a secret organization. It's called the Sedona Intelligence Agency. And now we collect information, just like the CIA and the NSA, but we're only collecting the good information, the positive things, the creative things that people do, and then we want to share them. And part of the SIA's job is to have agents all over the world that are distributing energies. Now, I always tell a story that some people in the beginning think like, well, what's he telling us? 2012, we're sitting out on our, this is an SIA story. It's very secret, only if you tell anyone after you leave the room, your life may be in jeopardy. We're sitting out there in 2012, and of course 2012, we're all looking for this, whatever's going to happen. If you don't see it, you probably didn't see it, because it was happening all the time. But we're thinking, contemplating about 2012, and we're sitting on our porch, it's evening, and then we see a very strange blue light glowing in the sky behind Thunder Mountain. We go, well, that's really interesting. It starts to pulse, this blue light, and then it slowly moves around the mountain, and it comes up through the valley, and it's winding its way over to Oak Creek, but it stops, and it stops right at our patio. And it's like 4 feet around, and it's blue and pulsing, and we're going, oh my God, we get to see a UFO. And all of a sudden, an energy beam comes out of it, and it shoots down this energy beam onto our patio, and there materializes in front of us a box. And the box is gift wrapped. And on the box, it's written in English on the box. It says, just open the box, you'll know what to do. It's very easy, you know, we've entrusted you with this. So we open up the box, and it says, well, turn it on. So we turn it on. So, well, what's going to happen? Well, all this is telepathic, of course, so we don't have to have written what it's going to do. What it does is it goes out every night when we turn it on, and it collects all the dreams in Sedona. And then it filters them, and it's looking for the dreams that will bring more peace, more happiness, more joy, more compassion to the world, more creativity. And so we collect all those dreams, and just like the NSA, we don't do it with your permission. So we confess to that right away. But the next thing that happens is we say, well, what do you do with all this information? Well, we send it out to our agents. I said, well, where are your agents? Well, our agents are all over the world. Our agents are all the creative people. They're the artists, they're the architects, they're the poets, they're the dancers, they're the playwrights. They're those people that are bringing that creative energy to our world to share. And so we're happy to give them any ideas that they might find inspirational. So that's where your dreams are going when you sleep in Sedona. And that's exciting. The SIA is a very good organization. We have wonderful intentions. We're a little bit worried about the election, though. So dream. Now, the other thing that we always tell people on First Friday is about our belief about the integral relationship between art, science, and nature. And I've been working on this for a long time because all of those things are the three most important things in my life ever since I was a little child. So here's my latest riff understanding of my own relationship to it. Art, the first artists were those beings that had an experience, and it was so powerful and moving that they wished to share it in some symbol that they could show others in the future and in the present moment what they experienced. So I say, in my own mind, that artists were the first scientists because they were looking and experiencing nature. And when it moved them deeply inside in their own psychological space, they took that movement and created symbols, and those symbols carried the message of the meaning of their experience. So this is what science does. And interestingly enough, when I looked into it, the Greek word for science is physis, and it means to watch the way things grow in nature. And go forward 1,000 years, or however many years it was, to the Renaissance, and scientia was the word for science in Latin, and it also meant to study the way things grow. And the name artist became those who had wisdom, who could make things. And you go, okay, so what is the source of it all? It's nature. So you got nature, scientists, and artists, and fortunately for us today, they're all playing together more than they used to. We have a good friend who's a neuroscientist who has written this wonderful book on consciousness, but she had to struggle to write about consciousness in her field because most of the people were like, oh, where's the science? Well, the science is there. You just have to look for it. So we honor all the artists because they are carrying the messages, the symbols from our psychological maturity into the world, into the present moment, from ancient times to the present time. And so that's what we do as artists, and we love it. And science is amazing right now, of course. We always talk about the biome, and the biome is that invisible part of the world that is so affecting us now, and we're learning about that. That's also science. Science brings the invisible to the visible. And what we learn about the biome is so incredible that we now know that there's this 10 trillion beings that live with each one of us that is unique to us, and they determine a lot about who we are. And lots of people don't want to relate to that because it's a little creepy. But they have determined that what you eat, what you think, your mood, your behavior is determined by these little invisible beings that are your partners. And now we know we have partners. And so we learn more and more about that and celebrate it, and it's all about the interconnectedness of life, that all life is connected. And the biomes are billions of years old, or we're only millions of years old. Even though, since they're part of us, we're also billions of years old. But you have to communicate with them. And then I have a lovely poem that came out that's a little bit about that, because I was listening to, as I hope some of you do as well, to the TED Talks, because sometimes I love the TED Talks on NPR. So there was this one recently on death, and it was this one woman who was very intelligent. She came out and she said, what happens when we die? Well, our bodies, we now know, are full of pollution. Pollution from the sky, from the water, from the drugs we take, from the things we can't avoid, from radiation, from all these things that we were unaware of until now. But yes, we're carrying, I forget how much it is, but it's a discernible amount, and when you're either cremated or put in the ground, you are polluting the air or the earth. Now this young lady, who is really amazing, and you may have heard about her, she said, well, she developed this idea. She said, well, how do you get rid of that? How do you make it in balance? And the answer was mushrooms. Mushrooms take the toxins and neutralize them and put them back into the environment. So what she's done is she created the death suit. It's a woven suit that's full of spores.
And they're all the explorers of different kinds of mushrooms that take out all these different toxins. Oh, she's selling a lot of them. There are people who are just as crazy as me. I might get one myself. Because it sounds like such a cool idea. Mushroom, you know. So here's the poem that came, I call it the mushroom jacket. The biome, 10 trillion beings, each alive, each aware, each with intention. How amazing that we all work together to manifest this miracle we call life. Me, I, or you, listen to the song of your invisible friends. They have a message of the indivisible nature of our being. Not separate, not alone, a community in harmony, manifesting this precious miracle gem of what we know, what we think, what we feel, what we desire. These are lifelong friends who, when we die, return us with gratitude to the universal biome of life. Emaho. Yeah, it comes from listening to TED Talks. I mean, I love it. I don't eat mushrooms, but they're going to eat me. Okay. Now, there's a poem here that I wrote for the spirit fish, which is that painting right there that just came in. And that painting is an interesting painting because I have a number of paintings that when my father passed away, who was an artist, he left unfinished work in his studio that he'd just begun. And so I gathered up as much of it as I could get my hands on. And that particular piece there is one that he started. And so, and he did also paint, and I remember when I was growing up, a fish singing to the moon. So it comes from that as well. But he actually signed his name to the bottom of that painting before it was finished. So I cited Hanshin with Dayan Sai, and that was my father's painter's name. So the poem that comes from that is spirit fish singing the song of gratitude to the healing light of a golden moon. O great spirit fish, great ocean, mother, father, your currents, your tides, rising, 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 and falling, falling, falling in great waves of love, in great waves of joy, in great waves of compassion and gratitude reflected there in your eye as I see it. It is the shining light of a great golden moon of enlightenment. In the Orient, the moon in its fullness represents enlightenment, the understanding of the wholeness. And then of course it wanes away and you're on your own for your teaching to grow. Okay, here's another one here that came out. This year, 2016, is pretty interesting, I think. This poem was the first one that came out of the year. It's called Retool, Reformat, and Reform. I'm talking for myself here. A higher order of being in harmony, one day at a time, one life at a time, one heartbeat at a time, one breath at a time, one feeling at a time, one thought at a time, each a precious golden moment, one at a time, moving mystic symbols through space and time, learning the new language of higher connectivity, sharing the creative each day as a blessing of giving and receiving, here now, each eternally present in the flow of time, finding the center of the spiral dance. There the stillness and the peace become the model of the singularity as we move into the realms of novelty and joy. It is not the secret, it's the work that makes the changes that we attenuate within our world of intention.
Yes.
So there you go. It's the work, folks. We can all know, we all do know the secret as far as I know. It's just a matter of working on it. Now this poem was written as part of the title of the show here. It's called The Original Valentine, A Gift from Nature's Heart. It is an equanimous gift for all to receive. A birthright, a blessing, a breath, a heartbeat, a bloodstream, a light stream, a love stream, spinning, spiraling from the center of the great Mother Earth. Iron crystal cauldron, radiant at its core, driving energy, life force, great linkage with grandfather, grandmother, son, resonating and reverberating, vibrating up through the rock and molten stone, pushing and pulsing, heartbeat, earthbeat, raising mountains, churning oceans, shielding and protecting from the cosmic rays of ancient exploding suns, blessed with trees, blessed with all the plants of medicine and food, blessed with the animal brothers and sisters. The greatest gift of all from nature's heart to you, awakening, compassionate energy. There, in the garden of your own heart, nature has left a valentine for you. Your precious human birth. Embrace it with gratitude and joy. So we'll go back. We're going to do one more thing here because we always love to do this one because it's, I think, important. It's called checking in on your present moment. Did you touch the earth today? Did you greet the wind? Did you say hello to the deep blue sky? When did you last drink deeply from the light of all the heavenly stars? Or say hello to the big full moon? Did you open your awareness to embrace the warm light of our sun? And then greet the infinite vast ocean of stars of the galaxy that we live in. And then all the galaxies in our current universe. Go out and embrace them. They're there. They're waiting for you. And now all the universes that live in all the multi-dimensions of hyperlink space, time, no space, no time. And then where are we now? This is the beauty of it. You and I are both here and everywhere, simultaneously. And that's what the oneness is about. And when you feel that and experience that, your life changes. And so this is what we all want everyone to have, an experience of connectivity, so that they understand that when you're looking at another person, you're really looking at yourself. And that's what it's all about, it really is. And one of the things we always say to people when we're closing up is life is in such a delicate balance here. And today in our world of super media connectivity, we all understand more and more deeply how precious the balance is that we have, and how important it is for us to work to keep a balance. Because it seems like, and I'm sure every generation says this, but for me, it seems like it's getting crazier and crazier, and that we all need to take responsibility in creating as much happiness and peace and joy and compassion and sharing and caring in our lives, to share with others, because all that sharing and caring and peace and happiness and compassion and love, they are a measurable energy that doesn't stop at the door. It goes out and it connects with all the other beings and living things on the planet, and it helps create the web of balance and harmony in our world. And I get up in the morning and I say to everyone else, you get up and the world's down here, you pat yourself on the back and say, well, we did it again. We had enough love and sharing, caring, and peace and compassion in order to not to have the whole thing go up in, you know, one of my poems that I love to read, it tells all about it. I say, well, you want to choose an asteroid, you want to choose a tidal wave, an earthquake, a super volcano, World War III, you know, Putin pushing buttons, you know. We all live on the edge, and to keep the responsibility of your own authentic energy making a difference, because it is a super fine balance. And one person's love, one person's prayer, one person's happiness and joy can make a difference. I believe it does. And so I encourage everyone to be happy. It's a tough job, but you can do it. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here and sharing. We look forward to next First Friday, which will be in March, and it will be Honchin's personal 50th anniversary of being a living artist, economically sustaining himself in the world. So it's a milestone and a miracle, and I'm very, very grateful, because without people, it never will happen. It's without everybody supporting everybody, and I'm always appreciative and grateful for all the people who come here and support us. So thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you.